Welcome back, Duelists. Casual here, and I have a viewer requested build. I want to say it was Samuel Carranza, and it was like a week or two ago. I built or showed off my competitive build for Subterrors, and he says, look, I would love to see that in a more budget version. So what we did was we literally took out 30 to 45, 25 a piece, like 30 a piece. We brought the deck down about $150-ish dollars. So let's see if you guys agree with what I did here. Now, to be honest, before I had those, this is what I was playing. And I did very well. All the time. So let's show you. So it's going to start off fairly the same. We're going to see the 3 Ash Blossoms, the 3 Effect Veilers, the 2 Ghost Ogres. And stop me when you think this isn't budget, because I can argue all of it. Ash Blossom's been released a bunch of times. Effect Veiler was common in the last structure deck, guys. I was using it in my $30 budget version of the Spirit Charmers. So definitely a budget card. I'm just showing off my fancy Dual Devastator ones, which again gets you all the hand trap girls, the Effect Veilers, and a good portion of my trap board in this deck. So still not a very good excuse. So the Effect Veilers, the 2 Ghost Ogres, the 1 Umastrix, we're looking about $8 right now. Looked that up earlier today. I was running a single copy of Speleogeist because, one guy's not enough. I got to have 2. Again, the 3 Fiendus. This is not an expensive card either. These may look good, but like these Fist of the Gadget copies, they're like 30 cents on TCG Player right now. No, I'm not paid to talk about them, but yes, I do use them when I price up a good majority of my stuff because there are a ton of great vendors on there. Many of whom I've dealt with and will continue to deal with in the future. And again, that's a great price. I mean, you can pick up 3 of these, get your playset for $1. $1 plus shipping. Let's go. We got the Gurus. This guy came out common. He's not an excuse. Go ahead, grab those. Get yourself a Nemesis Archer. These are as cheap as about $1, so mine as well. Going to the spells, we get the Called by the Grave. Still not that expensive. Was a common before. Been printed a few times. Was in that Dual Devastator I just mentioned. Here's about a $5 bill. Here's a brand new released Gold Rare Harpy's Feather Duster. You're going to run 1. But to be fair, I've still got 3 from the battle packs that are like 20 each. So play the $5 and make it look good. Monster Reborn, again, no excuse. 3 dualities. Yeah, minor foil ones, but these are not that expensive. They're like 50 cents for the commons, whatever. Go get them. Super Polys, they were in Dual Devastator, and the Shaddoll structure deck is commons. And that's still fairly recent enough to where I'm confident that they're still in circulation. So 3 of that. The 1 Terraforming, of course, I glammed it up. I got mine, I think this was Dual Overload. But I think that they redid that again in the gold pack recently. The Hidden Cities actually have gone down in value since I bought them. These ones are from Fist of the Gadget, so these are the cheaper of the 2. These were about 10 each when I got the deck. These are sitting at about 6 now, so $18 less than I would have paid for 2 of them to get all 3. Very good, guys. Very good. Go have fun. Upstart Goblin, a few bucks, whatever. Strikes, these were common with the Machina structure build. You're going to want 3, by the way. These were in the Dual Devastator, which is where my copies come from. They were in the Battle of Legends, Relentless Revenge. I bought 2 boxes of that. I don't remember if I got to open those on camera or not. But I pulled 2 strikes per box, plus everything else in the set. So, I mean, again, Solemn Strike's not really a question of can you get it, budget, it's did you bother? Subterror Final Battle, you're going to want 3 of these. Again, this is about $1 to get the set. Wasn't that bad? And there can be only 1. Of course, this has been reprinted a couple of times now as well. I think this was in the last gold pack. It was released in some set before that, and a minor from Dual Devastator. So there's your main build. Let's get to that extra deck. So we're going to run the 1 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, 1 Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. So obviously we got Cyber Dragon in the side deck. This is the one time I'm going to mention a side deck today. We got 1, 2 Earth Golem Ignisters. Now it would be 3 if I owned a third. So I'm using a Salamangreat Violet Chimera for now. But again, Earth Golem hits a lot harder because it's any Cybers plus Link, not a Salamangreat plus Link. So that's fantastic. We are using Elder Entity Intus. A lot of decks have brought back Synchro and Xeezing and playing them in tandem. And so it's good to have another Super Poly target laying around. Elemental Hero Gaia, because again, hero decks, especially Elemental Hero decks, can mess you up. And your home attribute is Earth for the most part. So we're going to sacrifice one of our own boys to get the play off. We got the double Mud Dragon of the Swamp. We've got the 1 Prank Kids Weather Washer. Sorry, I was reading that backwards. Now, you could use this. You could use the Rocket. Doesn't matter. This is the one I own, so this is the one that I have. I got the 1 Predaplant Dragostapelio in here. I got the 1 Sea Monster of Theseus. And again, this is just any 2 tuners. Again, I noticed that Synchro seemed to be coming back a little more. And I'm playing against a couple of junk decks in the last week. So, yeah, do that. Double Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Awesome. And there are still sometimes some Thunder Dragon players out there, so I like to carry Titan with me. However, most of this extra deck is up to you, the player. It is going to be based off of whatever just happens to be played in your area. So, a lot of this is stuff that I was playing before the pandemic. The 2 changes that really happened here was I dropped a Mud Dragon for an Intus, and I dropped a Starving Venom Dragon for a Sea Monster of Theseus. Otherwise, this is verbatim the deck I was playing last year in 2019. So, this is fun. Granted, we had Called by the Grave at 3 back then. It was good. But if you were here just for today's deck list, sorry to keep you that little bit extra, but you guys are free to go. Tell a friend, maybe hit the sub button. It all helps. And if you want to know about the main deck, we're going to quickly run this. Because again, I've already discussed this deck before. And if you would like to see the competitive version, just click on the name of the channel, run through our videos, find it. It'll be awesome. So again, Ash Blossom, Standard Hand Trap. Good cards are good for a reason. Run 3. Effect Veiler, same thing. We want to get rid of those, negate those monster effects from our opponent. Ghost Ogre, not exactly a negation, but definitely a destruction for an ongoing card that has an effect. Wait till it triggers and pop it. Awesome. Subterror Behemoth Umastrix is spot removal. Every time it flips, you can target a monster the opponent controls and banish it. And of course, he can dig himself back into a face-down position. And both Behemoths can special summon if one of my monsters is turned face-down. And after that action, I control 0 face-up monsters. So keep that in mind. They're fun. Now, Speleogeist is a little different. And this is the reason why I played him. You can target a monster on the field, change it to face-up attack position if it is in defense. Regardless of that, change the monster's attack to 0. You may use this effect once per turn. Now, you can. This is optional. But if you go to trigger this while your opponent has no monsters, you're going to 0 out the account of one of your own cards. I like this because it can make a direct attack without actually making a direct attack. And again, same thing for the summoning, and it can dig itself back into down defense. Awesome. Fiendus, still able to negate the activation of any card. So when your opponent activates a card or effect, send this from the hand or field to the graveyard. Target a Subterror that you control face up. Negate the activation of the card, then change the targeted monster to face down defense. And if your opponent is activating something, my one friend asked me, he was like, can you stop a field spell or a continuous like tanky? Yes, you may. In fact, it's advisable. I would. Most field spells will mess you up these days. So go ahead, get your plays. Also has that resurrection effect. You can target a monster you control that's face up, change it to face down defense, and if you do, special summon a Subterror from either the hand or the graveyard in either face up or face down defense. You may use each effect to Fiendus once per turn. And yes, you may summon the Fiendus to flip her face down to bring somebody back from the discard pile in defense, and then summon somebody like Umastrix from the hand. That is 100% yes. Guru, everybody knows Guru. Flip, add a Subterror card from deck to hand. Target another monster on the field. Change him and that other monster both to down defense. And if you have another face-up Subterror, that's a quick effect instead. Fantastic character, good control. Nemesis Archer, another great monster card. And I'm a big fan of that bow and arrow that she wields. It's actually pretty sick looking. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks an opponent's face-down defense position monster and you control another Subterror, you can shuffle that back into their deck. Sort of functions like Aaron from the Lightsworn. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon a Subterror from the deck either face up or face down. Use each effect once per turn, and this will allow you, on the off chance that you get a bad hand, which does happen from time to time, if you get the bad hand, you can actually still develop Umastrix directly out of your deck. So, off to the spells, Called by the Grave. Obvious control thing is obvious. We want to try to not get hit with a bunch of hand traps. And again, you only get the one, so play it wisely. Harpy's Feather Duster. I was toying between this and Ragakai yesterday while putting this deck together, and we settled on Feather Duster because of how much board manipulation it really is for monsters. So we figured we might want to focus one card on back row because I really don't have a whole lot of back row control, and Feather Duster has no drawbacks. Look, Twin Twisters is still probably going to be in your sideboard, so play this one in the main. Whatever, see how it works. Again, Monster Reborn, same thing. Was toying around with this, and I figured, yeah, I'll summon back, Guru or whatever, and then I could start a whole nother control cycle. It'd be fine. Duality, because most of the time you're not going to be special summoning, and you're going to turn most matches into a grind game. So you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck and pick one to add to your hand, shuffle the rest back. And this really helps you pick cards mid to late game while you're closing in on your opponent for the match. So great spell is great. Super Polymerization is the whole reason that we brought that extra deck. And again, all the plays are obvious, so I'm not going to go over that later. But Super Poly, again, you're going to want to have that card in hand so that you can pay the cost. And you're just going to instant zap cards together. And again, my wife plays a lot of Blackwing. Starving Venom Dragon works super well. And then just, you go down the whole list. Obviously, there's a whole lot of plays. But since I was attempting not to play with my money cards that are really, really unfair and from a casual standpoint, Super Polymerization is my go-to when I can't do that. So Terraforming, obvious. We want the Hidden City. Hidden City, obvious. When we play this, add a Subterror monster from the deck to the hand. Once per turn, you can change a face-down defense to face-up attack or defense. So you can force flip Guru as soon as you play it. So you play Hidden City, you get Guru, you set Guru, you activate Hidden City to flip Guru to grab a Fiendus, whatever, or whatever card it is that you're missing from your combo, and you just keep playing. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you change one of your face-down defense position Subterrors to face-up attack or defense. And by doing so, you can then negate the attack. And this is important because, again, Umastrix can negate the attack via this and actually point remove another card with his banishment effect. So that's amazing. And Speleogeist. Again, I want to say he was till the end of the turn. Change its attack to 0. Nope, I guess that's a permanent change the attack to 0 effect. But again, that's essentially the same thing. You're going to be zeroing out another attack. And Speleogeist being just a midge stronger offensively you'll probably flip Umastrix to defense. You'll probably play Spellgeist to attack at 3k and play to their strengths. But brilliant. And again, Upstart Goblin, it doesn't matter. Give your opponent 1,000 life points. What's it going to hurt? We're going to play the 3 strikes. Strikes are great against special summons, also against monster effects. This is another great way to handle hand traps right now while being able to pay a cost so that we can pretty much guarantee strike isn't going anywhere. Subterror Final Battle. I need to say this. I know that I admitted in the comment section, but so few people read the comment section, myself included. If I go to a video, I don't tend to go back to it. I need to admit that I was wrong about the effect stacking, and for some reason, I just didn't bother to read my own card right. So no, the Final Battle attack modifier is not stackable, and it's very simple to tell you why, and it's because this one word right here that I just kept missing, the word original. So you could keep activating it, but it will not do anything, so you shouldn't. So the effects are flip it, activate one of the 4, and then reset this trap. So one is we can set a face-up Subterror face-down defense, or we can move a face-down Subterror defense to face-up attack or defense. So here's our first 2 effects. The second or third effect, the attack and attack and defense of one Subterror monster on the field become equal to its combined original attack and defense until the end of the turn. So that's Spellgeist. 30 by 14 is 44 by 44. 1618 Guru is 34 by 34. Umastrix 20 by 27 is 4700 by 4700. So on and so forth down the line. Again, very sorry I got that one wrong the first time. Not afraid to admit that. Just got a little too excited. My brain froze and the hamster fell out of the wheel. So stumbled there a little bit. Last effect. This turn activated effects of Subterror cards cannot be negated. So again, that should just be the monsters. But I don't know the rest of the Subterror cards. Maybe there's another one that has an activated effect, and I'm just ignorant to that as well. But it's good because you can actually stop your opponent from negating your monster effects, which is fantastic. In the last one, there can be only one. Very similar to Rivalry and Gozen Match once more. So you activate this, each player can only control one monster of each typing, which is why our types are so spread. If a player does happen to control 2 or more of the same type when this is activated, they must send some to the graveyard until they control no more than 1. So let's say you're playing up against Elemental Heroes. They've got 3 heroes. They're all warriors. You activate this. They got to pick 1 warrior to stay. And then even if they were to try to tribute said warrior for another warrior, they would not be allowed to even try, because that would be trying to control another monster of the same type you already have one you're not allowed to try. I think they could set it. I'm almost fairly certain. Let me know in the comment section. Somebody who's read that recently. But this is very good control. And a lot of decks, again, I keep going back to things like Blackwing or Harpies, or let's say the Ancient Warriors. That's one I did pretty recently. The Ancient Warriors would be a bunch of Beast Warriors. And by doing this, we stop them from getting a bigger field presence. Some decks don't care about this, and those decks are usually things like Lightsworn or, again, Guru Control. That is Masterclass, well, not even an update. It's sort of an update. It's a budget version of the deck I've already brought to you guys. I wanted to start knocking some of these requests out of the way. I'm doing tunes later this week, so I've got a couple of days extra. We're going to play test, me and my wife, with some decks that we have pre-built sitting over here on our shelf, and we're going to run it through a little bit of a gauntlet of varied skill level decks, including this deck, which I don't see that ending well for tunes. But I'm going to get a nice casual tune out by the end of the week. And I'm thinking this weekend we will finally do the trade binder video. And I'm almost to the point. I know Drumstick, I know you're going to ask me. We are almost to the point where I'm ready to start purchasing the cards for the Master of Oz deck. So if you just give us another few weeks, I'm not sure how long that's going to take to get the cards in. Pandemic is still slowing down orders and the mail. So once everything's back to full speed and we work through all this, I will be able to do these custom builds more rapidly when it's cards I don't own already. But I do enjoy doing requests. So if you guys have another one that you'd like to see done, you know, you can always post it down there in the comments section, down that way somewhere, right over there. And again, let your friends know about the channel. My friends are enjoying watching you guys tease me and watching all of the very positive comments that have been coming from this community. I'm proud of you guys. I wouldn't have a channel without you. So I'm going to get back to work. I'm going to make some more decks. I got to get on that. I got to get on those tunes. So I'm going to go do those tunes right now. I'll see you guys later.